Imagine this, a tiny robotic insect, smaller than your palm, flying into disaster zones to save lives, pollinating crops to feed billions, or even delivering life-saving medicine directly to your bloodstream. Sounds like science fiction, right? Well, it's not. This is our reality, right here, right now. And no, these robots aren't here to start their own version of the bug life. They're here to change the world. But why are scientists building robot insects? And what does this mean for our future? Today, we'll dive into 5 compelling reasons that explain this groundbreaking innovation. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand the why, but also the potential impacts on your life, your career, and even your finances. Let's get started. Point 1. Saving agriculture. Visual, sweeping shots of lush fields, a close-up of flowers being pollinated by robotic bees, and dramatic images of news headlines about declining bee populations. Our first reason is urgent and deeply tied to your everyday life: agriculture. Bees are the unsung heroes of our ecosystem, pollinating over 1/3 of the crops we rely on for food. But there's a problem. Bee populations are plummeting. Climate change, pesticides, and habitat loss have driven them to the brink of extinction. Discuss the scale of the issue, mentioning crops at risk, like almonds, apples, and blueberries. Highlight statistics. According to studies, the US has lost over 40% of its bee colonies in the last year alone. Without bees, entire food chains could collapse. And that's not a distant problem. It's a crisis already unfolding before our eyes. This is where robotic insects step in. Scientists are developing drones and micro-robots that mimic the behavior of bees, pollinating flowers with surgical precision. Dive into the technology, how these robots are designed, how they use artificial intelligence to map flowers, and their potential efficiency compared to real bees. Discuss pilot programs already in action, like labs in Japan testing robotic bees. Just imagine, future farmers may not be hiring beekeepers but robot mechanics. Talk about a career pivot. But this is just the beginning. These tiny robots don't just promise to save agriculture. They're a lifeline for a growing global population that will need more food than ever before. Point 2. Disaster response. Now let's shift gears to an equally critical use case: disaster response. Picture this: a devastating earthquake strikes, buildings collapse, and people are trapped beneath the rubble. Every second counts, but human rescuers can only do so much in dangerous and confined spaces. In these life-or-death moments, robotic insects could be the difference between survival and tragedy. Explain how robotic insects are equipped with cameras, thermal sensors, and even chemical detectors to locate survivors or identify gas leaks. Discuss real-world examples, prototypes used in earthquake simulations, and how they've successfully navigated through debris. Their small size allows them to reach places humans and even rescue dogs can't. They can scan for survivors, relay critical information, and even deliver supplies like water or oxygen. And the best part? No training treats required. Sorry, rescue dogs. But jokes aside, the impact is profound. These robots could redefine how we respond to disasters, saving thousands of lives in the process. Point 3. Medical breakthroughs. Our third reason is perhaps the most personal: healthcare. Imagine you need surgery, but instead of scalpels and stitches, a tiny robot the size of a mosquito does the job painlessly from the inside. Explore how scientists are developing micro-robots that could enter the human body to deliver targeted medication or perform microsurgeries. Mention breakthroughs in nanotechnology and the potential to treat diseases like cancer with pinpoint accuracy. Think about it: fewer invasive surgeries, faster recovery times, and treatments tailored specifically to your body. This could revolutionize healthcare as we know it. And these innovations aren't just for treating illnesses. They could also monitor your health. Imagine a tiny robot checking your vitals from inside your bloodstream, detecting problems before they even occur. Finally, a mosquito you don't have to slap. But as exciting as this is, it also raises some big questions. Questions we'll come back to in a moment. Point 4. Military and surveillance. Now let's venture into a more controversial territory: military and surveillance. In the wrong hands, these robots could become tools for conflict and control. Explain how robotic insects are being developed for stealth surveillance, spying on enemies, gathering intelligence, or even delivering payloads. Touch on existing examples, such as DARPA projects focused on micro-robotic technologies. Imagine swarms of robotic insects being used in warfare. Silent, undetectable, and nearly impossible to stop. It's the stuff of dystopian nightmares. While these applications could enhance security, they also bring significant risks. Who gets to decide how these robots are used? And how do we ensure they're not weaponized against civilians? We'll explore those ethical dilemmas in just a moment, but first, let's look at the bigger picture. Point 5. The ethical dilemmas. Finally, we arrive at the heart of the debate. Ethics. Technology this powerful doesn't come without consequences. Discuss concerns about privacy, how robotic insects could be used for mass surveillance invading personal freedoms. Highlight environmental concerns, the resources needed to build and dispose of these robots responsibly. Explore the question of regulation, who controls the technology, and how do we ensure it's used ethically. We're standing at a crossroads. This technology could be a force for good or a tool for exploitation. The question is, which path will we take? Robotic insects are more than just a technological marvel. They're a glimpse into the future. From saving lives to securing food, they have the potential to address some of humanity's biggest challenges. But with great power comes great responsibility. So let's make sure these bugs don't bug us in all the wrong ways. If you're curious about how technology is shaping our world, check out my video on how technology is reshaping the workforce. It's packed with insights on how you can stay ahead in this ever-changing landscape. Click here to watch now.